For this video review, it's going to be a retro review of a Spider-Man action figure from the first live-action Spider-Man movie starring Tobey Maguire. Okay, so let's first do a quick 360 view of the box packaging or the action figure packaging. So this was way back in 2001. Okay, so Marvel was still handled by Toy Biz. Okay, so there you go. That's the markings. The other action figures on the line. A little bit of instruction for the Gargoyle base. And a little bit of bio on the movie. And this is going to be the coolest part actually. When you take a look at the eye lenses for the Spider-Man mask, you could see the Green Goblin. So this action figure way back in 2001 retailed for 399.75 pesos. So the current exchange peso to dollar rate, $1 is going to be 57 Philippine pesos. Okay, so this figure, if you purchase it way back then, it's going to be around the $7 mark. So this time, let's take a look at the Gargoyle action figure base, which is actually a very nice piece. Okay, so they made good plastic for action figures way back then, unlike today wherein the plastic really sucks. Okay, there you go. So that's the details. So wall mounting option and desktop mounting option. Okay, and for desktop mounting option, so just assemble it that way, and on the ledge of a table, yeah, so just secure it that way. Okay, so as for the line, so you could depress the line, or not depress but extend the line, and this holds on to the forearm of the action figure, and that is not soft rubbery plastic, that is actually hard, made of good material. Okay, to retract that web line, so that we have the bottom on top of the head of the gargoyle, yep, and it snaps back in. As for dimensions, this action figure stands around the 6.15 inch mark something. Okay, so let us do a quick 360 view of the base action figure. So this action figure just comes with a gargoyle base, no extra hands, no extra gimmicks. Okay, so just for simple point of comparison between the old hyper poseable version and the most current super poseable version. Okay, so let's take a view on the back of these two action figures, so we could really take a good reference as to design and the height. Okay, so I'm already excited, so let's play. Okay, so for the head, so details of the head unit and especially the web lines. So wow, so these web lines, the paint really has withstood the test of time. Okay, so as for articulation points, so the head is on a dumbbell joint, and we also have rotation on the neck, on the base of the neck. Okay, so when you take a hold of this, so there's also rotation for that head. Okay, so moving towards the arms, so as you could see guys, don't have any excessive butterfly joints. Okay, so but this is the details and the details of the suit, texturing, So actually the color, it's not all blue. There's going to be a lighter shade of blue and a darker shade of blue. Okay, the Spiderman logo is embossed, so it's not flat. And let's take a look at the Spiderman logo on the chest. That is also riding on top of the web lines. Okay, so I hope the camera catches that detail. Okay, so T-pose is possible. Full rotation, and we have a cut on the bicep for rotation on the bicep. 2 points of articulation or bend on the elbow. Rotation on the forearm. Hinge on the wrist. And yep, details on the wrist. So you have, this is where he shoots his web lines. That's also on the other hand too. And we also have hinge for the fingers. Okay, so just the middle two fingers, you could fold them for web slinging poses like this. Okay, and that's going to be wall crawling. Okay, so actually you have two features for the handset, so web shooting and web crawling. And moving towards the body of the figure. Okay, so that is on a ball joint, so that is the articulation point. And we also have rotation on the waist line. So as for the legs, so that is on a hinge and rotator cuff something. Okay, so we have a cut on the thigh for rotation of the thigh. And let's take a look at the articulation point on the leg. Okay, so this could still do really hyper poseable poses. Okay, not so bad, really. Okay, there you go. Okay, so you could bring it up that way and rotate the thighs that way. And for the leg, the calf I mean, so there you go, rotation on the boot. And we have a hinge and also toe articulation. We have a little bit of side to side movement for the foot. Okay, so details on the foot, details on the other leg. Okay, so not so bad a poseable figure. So with these points of articulation, is it still going to be, or could this action figure compete with other Spider-Man action figures, the current ones? I think so, yeah. Because actually the current ones would have lesser articulation points than this. So this has more articulation points, except for the butterfly joints. But the details and the plastic on this guy, and this is quite heavier than this. This feels really lightweight. And take a look at that. As I mentioned in the review of this guy, with regards to the proportion of the feet to the head, even whatever head that you're going to use, the feet is still going to be very large. But take a look at this. Okay, proportion of the head to the foot, not so bad. So it doesn't throw the anatomical proportions of the action figure. So still, this, if this was released by another company or whatever, it's this still is going to be a current action figure. So for those of you guys who don't know or haven't seen this or haven't bought this, and this was sold to you as a newly produced and newly packaged action figure, this is still worth getting actually. Okay, so fully packed with details, and articulation is also great. Good plastic on these too. So if you like this simple review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review, because we still have another hyper poseable Spider-Man on the way, actually the second version.